For this assignment, I chose to focus on one of my professional communities, the staff and administrators at CUNY. I have worked at CUNY as an undergraduate student advisor for the last 7 years, but have been working with undergraduate students in several capacities for the past 12 years. I decided to ask 3 of my colleagues about their thoughts on mental health issues as it affects our community. I intentionally did not clarify what I meant by our community to see what responses came to mind organically. All 3 interviewees led by talking about how mental health issues affect the students we work with, rather than how it affects staff directly. Even when prompted, the interviewees did not spend a lot of time sharing about more personal experiences. In other words, mental health seemed to be easy to discuss, but only from a distance. I interviewed a dean of student affairs, who is white, cis male in his mid-50s, associate director of scholarships and grants, who is Hispanic, cis female in her late 30s, and the public safety officer, who is Black and gender nonconforming in their mid-20s. What stood out immediately is that mental health issues are a priority now, more than ever before. Here is the Dean of Student Affairs.
That mental health concerns in higher education have skyrocketed. So if you had asked me this 20 years ago, I would have said the major issues there are drug and alcohol, and fairly other things. And now I think the literature, colleagues, everybody's saying it's mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health. The number of individuals seeking mental health has gone through the roof. It's the need for counselors, psychologists, IDs, social workers the need has increased exponentially. And I don't know if this is because mental health, the stigma of going to a counselor or a psychologist has been destigmatized. If students are being clinically evaluated in different ways than they had before, or there is more stress that didn't exist with things such as social media. We know that in the literature that has become an issue. The students don't know how, and not just students, but how to interact. And so when they get into a situation like college where they're forced to interact, it could be a stressor. Or are there more psychotropic drugs being prescribed, which is also causing challenges? Because I know even a few years ago, there was never a need for a psychiatrist on staff, and now the last 3 institutions I've been at, there have been at least part-time psychiatrists on staff specifically for the purpose of administering and managing psychotropic drugs.
Stemming from this great need for more mental health resources on college campuses, all 3 interviewees discussed the role of the BIT, Behavioral Response Teams, that now exist on each CUNY campus. These teams work together as a support system to provide assistance to students in crisis. Importantly, it is not a disciplinary team. The teams are made up of CUNY staff ranging from student affairs, the disabilities office, mental health and counseling, and public safety. I asked the public safety officer, who sat on the same BIT team as I did, about the role we play on campus.
The BIT team has the chance to respond to students in crisis, and because every situation is different and unique, there isn't one set of answers on how to respond to each crisis. However, the biggest and most important skill to utilize when there is an issue has to be communication. Communication is important when dealing with most issues, especially mental health issues. We also need to have greater understanding. If you are not educated on mental health and are not sure how to handle things, you have to try to have patience, understanding, and communicate.
Finally, here's the Associate Director of Scholarships and Grants sharing a final overview of how mental health issues affect our community.
Mental health is not separate from an academic experience, and no matter how small it could be, you're anxious about something, that counts, right? And we should be better about understanding that and understanding how to respond to that, in a compassionate way and not in a punitive way, which often happens. Like we've seen like a student who's struggling in a class who then, does poorly in the class, and the faculty member not knowing, right, what's happening, you know something's up, right? The student may be disheveled or maybe missing a lot of classes, but there needs to be an opportunity to intervene there so that student doesn't end up with a bad grade
Right.
because of something that they're experiencing that's difficult. So yeah, I think an understanding of, no matter how small or large, that mental health is important to the college experience.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's where the funding, when we need stats, which I think CUNY does have. And I may find them for you. I think I have
Oh.
them. Yeah, they have stats on this survey that they issued last year.
That would be great. That
yeah.
would be super helpful.
Yeah, but an understanding of people, it's not just that these are, in quotes, delicate kids, as you sometimes read online, where people just like get over it.
Right.
It's not that. It's that, we all, adults, children, young adults,
Everyone, yeah.
experiences some of these things at some points in their life, and that we have to be here to address it.
Yeah.
We're not just here to educate a student, like you learn this prescribed, number of theories
Right,
and
right.
rules or formulas, and
Yeah.
then you're out. We're educating the whole person, and that includes their mental health.
Right.